This is a classic sad science fiction work released in 2001. Artificial intelligence. The film centers on David, a robotic little boy. The movie opens with a family sitting warmly around the dinner table for a meal. Only the adopted David is not allowed to eat. Tormented by his younger brother's deliberate teasing, he impulsively grabs the rice bowl and shovels food into his mouth. The next instant his face warps and collapses like wax. Faced with this eerie sight, the mother shows no trace of sympathy. She only sees him as a broken piece of junk. The repairman cruelly takes apart his body and pulls out a chip covered in food scraps. David is a robot and feels no pain, yet he still tries to comfort his mother. The mother simply turns her head and runs away. This cold gesture foreshadows David's life, destined to be cast aside and unloved. What David does not know is, he is nothing more than a substitute in his mother's eyes. The family's biological son Martin suffers from a fatal illness. Locked in long-term cryogenic stasis, the couple live day after day in grief and longing. Meanwhile, the world's largest artificial intelligence company makes new breakthroughs. Its founder has developed robots that are nearly indistinguishable from real humans. Thus, the world's first emotional robot is born. This robot is named David. He is programmed with a special love imprinting code. Once activated by a human, he will love his master unconditionally for his entire life. This love is irreversible and can never fade. To test the robot's performance, the founder selects this family for the experiment. As the elevator doors slowly slide open, a little boy with golden hair looking exactly like a real human appears before the mother. At first sight of David, the mother is full of wariness and resistance, even though David has an innocent childlike face and clear eyes, and behaves almost like a real person. She can never accept a machine replacing her own child, nor can she grow genuine affection for lines of code. The father agrees to the experiment out of good intentions. He cannot bear to watch his wife sink deeper into sorrow every day, seeing the mother falling apart. The father promises to send David back to the company the next day. At this moment, the mother realizes if David is returned, she will slip back into her old lonely life. This robot, who looks so human, might keep her company for a while. That night, the mother watches David in his room. Light casts his shadow overlapping with photographs of Martin. This sight shakes her resolve to send David away. Yet the father gives her a serious warning. Once David's program is activated, it can never be altered. So he urges her to think carefully. After much hesitation, the mother decides to observe for a few more days before deciding. David does not understand human emotional distance. He is well-behaved, gentle, and obedient, staying quietly by the mother's side, clinging to her clumsily yet sincerely. Even when locked inside a closet, he stays perfectly still. Day after day of companionship slowly melts the mother's heart. Through countless lonely nights longing for her real son, David's company becomes her only comfort. At dinner, David sits at the table, quietly imitating their eating movements. A little bit of food lingers at the corner of the mother's mouth. David suddenly bursts into untimely laughter, laughing in an almost unsettling way. This laugh breaks the long-standing silence inside the house. The mother is touched by David's innocence. Finally, the mother makes up her mind to keep David. Following the instruction manual, she completes every step. At that moment, David seems to awaken to human consciousness and pours out his heart to his mother.
Mommy.
From that day on, the mother brightens up. She starts dressing herself carefully and agrees to attend social events with her husband. David was wholeheartedly attached to his mother. He acts spoiled, seeks affection, and tries hard to please her, offering up nothing but pure wholehearted love. Gradually, the mother lets go of her prejudice and treats David as her real child. She also gives David a teddy bear. Warmth returns to their once cold home. Everyone assumes this cross-species bond between human and machine will last forever. Yet fate strikes out of nowhere. Shortly after David fully fits into the family, Martin, the biological son, makes a miraculous recovery and returns home safe and sound. Martin's return leaves David awkward and redundant in the presence of their biological son. The parents' fondness for David becomes cautious. This special bond between human and robot suddenly feels out of place. David shows no hostility toward Martin. He simply tries to adapt to the new family dynamic. Sharper conflict comes from Martin. He clearly senses David stealing his mother's love and grows consumed by jealousy and resentment. He starts teasing and picking on David on purpose. He even asks their mother to read the story of Pinocchio to provoke David. David does not grow angry. He only remembers the ending of the tale. Pinocchio meets the blue fairy and is turned into a real boy, so he can return to his family. This plants a seed inside David's mind that will last thousands of years. Martin's taunts grow more cruel over time. He deliberately eats heartily in front of David. This pushes David past his breaking point. He snatches the plate and shoves spinach frantically into his mouth. By the time the mother notices, it is already too late. David's face warps and caves in like melting wax. The parents rush David in for repairs. They cut open his body and remove the spinach-covered chip. David feels no fear throughout the whole procedure. Instead, he comforts his mother.
It's okay, Mommy. It doesn't hurt.
These words stun the mother. She realizes she has truly grown attached to a robot. Martin watches everything unfold in secret. His malice toward David deepens further. That night, Martin tricks David into cutting a lock of their mother's hair. He lies and tells David this will make their mother love him more. David believes every word. He sneaks into the bedroom with a pair of scissors. He is just about to cut the hair when the mother wakes up. This frightens the parents terribly. The father flies into a rage and questions David harshly.
I wanted Mommy to love me.
The next morning, the father insists on sending David back to the company for destruction. The mother disagrees. While they argue over David's fate, they prepare for Martin's birthday party. Meanwhile, David prepares a birthday gift for Martin. Martin rejects it outright and calls over other children to bully David. Terrified, David hides behind Martin. By accident, both of them fall into the water. People rush over and pull Martin ashore, but David is left trapped underwater, forgotten. Faced with the safety of their biological human child, all David's sincere devotion means nothing. He is even seen as a potential threat. The couples resolve waivers completely. They see clearly David is after all just a machine. He can never replace a real human child. According to company rules, discarded robots must be sent back to the factory to be destroyed. Yet the mother has grown attached to David after living with him. She cannot bear to send him to his death with her own hands, so she makes her cruelest choice. The very starting point of David's lifelong tragedy. The mother drives David out to a dark, empty forest. She leaves him behind together with his robotic teddy bear, then turns around and drives away without hesitation. In this instant, David is abandoned completely. He cannot understand what he has done wrong. He cannot fathom why boundless love has earned him nothing but his mother's cold rejection. He kneels in the woods crying for his mother, begging her over and over to stay. All he gets is retreating headlights and endless darkness. Here the film's core conflict fully reveals itself. Human beings give robots eternal exclusive love, yet never offer equal affection or acceptance. Humans who can feel and choose cast aside the robotic child with a loyal heart. Humans activate David's love and enjoy his companionship, and can just as easily sever their bond, tossing him away like trash. Meanwhile, the unchanging love coded deep inside David turns into an obsession with nowhere to go. Desperate in the dark, David remembers the story of Pinocchio, about the puppet boy whom the blue fairy transforms from a fake puppet into a real human, gaining eternal life and the right to be loved. In David's innocent mind, the only reason he was abandoned is that he is not truly human. If only he can become real, his mother will love and accept him again. At that moment, a garbage truck pulls into the forest, dumping piles of broken robot wreckage. Damaged robots swarm out from every direction. They rummage through trash for missing spare parts, mending their bodies torn apart by humans. Suddenly, they stare up at the sky in terror. A huge moon-like spacecraft slowly rises. All the robots flee in panic, yet most cannot escape capture. David and other robots are taken to a robot slaughterhouse. Robots are dragged out and destroyed one after another. Spectators in the stands cheer and celebrate. This gory scene fills David with terror. He instinctively grabs hold of another robot's hand for safety. A man is shocked by how lifelike this little boy looks. The slaughterhouse owner walks over. He grows excited upon seeing David's human-like appearance. He arranges for David to be the main attraction of the show. Too frightened to let go, David clings tightly to the man. In the end, the owner drags both of them onto the stage together. A huge bucket of sulfuric acid hangs suspended above David's head. A single drop falls onto his shoulder.
Don't burn me! Don't burn me!
David's heart-wrenching pleas and his realistic appearance plant doubt in the crowd. Someone suddenly attacks the slaughterhouse owner. Chaos erupts across the venue. David and the man seize the chance to run away. To repay David for saving his life, the man decides to travel alongside David to seek out the know-it-all doctor. Legend says he knows every secret in the world. With his guidance, they might find the blue fairy. So David and the man set off toward the direction of the moon. Once they reach the city, they search high and low, and finally locate the doctor. This doctor is actually a coin-operated answering robot. The man inserts his last coin. David immediately asks for information about the blue fairy. The doctor tells him the blue fairy dwells at the end of the world where the lion weeps. David tries to ask for more specific directions, but the robot vanishes in an instant. The man explains this place is Manhattan. It was once the birthplace of robots, now submerged under seawater because of melting glaciers. A deadly zone from which no robot returns. Driven by his wish to become human, David fears no danger. Right after they step outside, police officers arrive. They arrest the man without hesitation, planning to take him away for destruction. David sneaks onto their helicopter and creates chaos, and manages to rescue the man. The two of them take control of the helicopter. They fly across desolate seas until they reach Manhattan. Following clues step by step, they find the weeping lion statue, and discover an office behind it. David pushes open the door full of hope, but there is no blue fairy waiting for him. Instead, he sees a boy dressed in white, who looks exactly like David. Seeing this duplicate, David is seized with fear. He worries this other boy will steal his mother's love. He grabs a desk lamp and swings it hard toward the other boy. Just as David is about to lose control, his creator appears and stops him. He reveals everything is part of an experiment. The creator has been recording all of David's actions. Even the directions from the know-it-all doctor were arranged on purpose to test David's capacity for independent thought. The creator praises David as a near-perfect experiment. David can grow attached from hearing fairy tales. He will risk everything to search for the blue fairy. All of this proves he has developed genuine independent thinking. The creator truly has built a machine capable of love. Even at this point, David still believes the blue fairy exists. Then the creator delivers the cruelest truth.
Would you like to come meet your real mothers and fathers?
David follows his creator into another room. Rows upon rows of identical robot bodies line the space. What is shocking is that these machines look exactly like him. Even more shocking are the half-finished robots, waiting to be bought, waiting to be activated, waiting to have the love program installed. All supposed emotions and memories are nothing more than standard code. His love for his mother is merely written programming. David's whole world shatters. He sits outside alone as if his soul has left him. He can no longer find meaning in his existence. He will never earn his mother's love.
Mommy.
David jumps off without hesitation. Perhaps only in death can he meet his mother again. David sinks into the sea surrounded by schools of fish. Guided by some unseen force, the fish carry him toward an abandoned amusement park. Something catches David's eye. Before he can move closer, the man pulls him back onto shore. David tells him excitedly he really saw the blue fairy. Before the man can share in his joy, police arrive and take him away. Before he is let off, he triggers the helicopter's dive mechanism. David plunges back down into those mysterious waters. Soon David finds the blue fairy. She is gentle and beautiful. David stares, completely mesmerized. He never looks away even as an old Ferris wheel collapses nearby. David gazes at the blue fairy filled with hope and prays over and over. Yet the blue fairy is nothing but a cement statue. No matter how many times David pleads, she never responds. Time passes endlessly. David repeats his prayers countless times, until the helicopter's power runs out. Until the seawater freezes solid, David remains frozen in his praying posture. 2,000 years pass. Human beings no longer walk the earth. Artificial intelligence lifeforms rule the planet. They discovered David during an expedition, and reboot him. The moment David wakes up, he still holds onto his 2,000-year-old wish to become human and return to his mother. He walks straight toward the blue fairy. The moment his hand touches her, the statue crumbles to pieces. His dream can never come true. David sinks into despair once more. A group of artificial intelligence beings gather around him. They read his stored memories and decide to grant his wish. When David opens his eyes again, he is back inside his old home. David rushes through the house searching for his mother. When he opens a door, he sees the leader of the artificial intelligence beings. He tells David they can resurrect his mother, but only for one single day. This is the absolute limit of genetic reconstruction. Now David must make a choice. Spend one day with his mother, then vanish forever, or keep her safe only inside his memories. For David, this is no real choice. His love for his mother is etched deep within his code. David walks into his mother's bedroom. At last he sees the mother he has longed for across 2 millennia. For this one day, David finally has a mother all to himself. Undivided, unconditional motherly love. Thoughtful David brews her favorite coffee. He enjoys tender moments bathing with her. They play hide and seek and celebrate birthdays together. Yet the day quickly draws to an end. Light fades outside the windows. The mother drifts off into eternal sleep. This time David feels no bitterness or grief, only profound peace and tenderness. David lies down beside his mother, following her into rest. He slowly closes his eyes, falling into eternal slumber. From the very moment of his birth, David is programmed to love. Yet he is never given the right to be loved. Through 2,000 years of lonely devotion, David proves machine love can be more loyal, pure, and eternal than human love. Still, he cannot escape the chains of fate.